Cerro Santa Lucia in Santiago, Chile. Take a break from the chaos of the Centro with an afternoon stroll through this lovingly manicured park. It was just a rocky hill until 19th century Mayor Benjamín Vicuña Mackenna had it transformed into one of the city's most memorable green spaces. Cerro Santa Lucia, which is a park built on a hill located in the center of the city. At 69 meters high, this hill provides one of the loveliest views of the city, and is a great place to spend an afternoon. Other than a few terrace areas, the park is essentially vertical. You'll keep moving up and winding around the hill if you follow any of the various staircases. On each level, there is a place to pause, relax, and take in the view. However, to get the best shot of the city, you'll have to head all the way up to the top. Make sure you're wearing comfortable shoes. The distance is not long, but you'll climb quite a few stairs as you make your way up. The final staircase is a bit treacherous, it's steep, narrow, and not recommended for small children or individuals with limited mobility. The park is equipped with an elevator, but it does not arrive to the highest point. A web of trails and steep stone stairs leads you through terraces to the Mirador at the top, and there are a scattering of chapels and other interesting buildings in between. There's a free elevator to the top if you want to save your legs. While the Chilean capital may seem to be but a thriving, modern hub of skyscrapers and trendy eateries, if you search in the correct places, you'll find some hidden, historic gems. Among one of the oldest is Cerro Santa Lucia, a small hill at the heart of downtown Santiago and one of the city's most memorable natural spaces. Although it might be surrounded by some of Santiago's busiest streets, Cerro Santa Lucia is a surprising oasis of calm in what can feel a hectic, chaotic city. But it wasn't always such a haven. It was on Cerro Santa Lucia that Pedro de Valdivia, a Spanish explorer and conquistador, defeated the indigenous forces and officially founded the city of Santiago in February 1541. Known in the local Mapuche language as Hulan, which means curse, Valdivia instead gave it its modern name, Cerro Santa Lucia. What to see on Cerro Santa Lucia? It was only in the 1870s that Cerro Santa Lucia was turned into an attraction for Santiaguinos. 150 prisoners were set to work building the winding pathways, spacious plazas and lush collection of native flora and fauna that you can see today. Defensive fortifications were built here, including La Marco and Castillo Hidalgo, Hidalgo Castle, the latter of which still exists and is now used for functions such as weddings. Nowadays, visitors can climb the steep footpaths to the park's highest point, Mirador, to be surprised by panoramic views over the city and to the Andes Mountains beyond. It's also a perfect haven of tranquility for a few hours reflection and relaxation. This hill is actually quite the historical locale. First off, it is the remnant of a 15-million-year-old volcano. It was originally called Hualito Ohutracan by the pre-colonization inhabitants. However, the current name comes from the day in which Pedro de Valdivia conquered the hill, on December 13, 1540. That day celebrates Santa Lucia. Its first use by its missionaries was as a point of worship, or prayer in the years of the chickenpox outbreak. In 1816, Manuel Olegar Filiu, the brigadier of the Royal Engineers, designed and built two forts or castles on Santa Lucia Hill, one north and the other south of the hill. The forts were built out of stone and lime and could fit 8 or 12 cannons each. Besides, Olegar Filiu drew and built an outbuilding for ammunition depot and to house the garrison. On one side of the hill, Fort Hidalgo was finished in 1820 as a defensive point. On the other side, the hillside terrain was used as a cemetery for the dissidents. People who did not follow the then official Roman Catholic faith, or were considered otherwise unworthy of burial at hallowed grounds. However, the remains buried in the hillside under this fashion were eventually transferred to a secluded section of the general cemetery, before said cemetery, in turn, was open to all burials regardless of creed or social condition. In 1849 James Melville Gillis led an American naval astronomical expedition to Chile in order to more precisely measure the solar parallax. An observatory was set up on Santa Lucia Hill and operated by Gillis. When the expedition ended in September 1852, the observatory and related equipment was sold to the Chilean government and formed the nucleus of the first National Astronomical Observatory. In 1872, Benjamín Vicuña Mackenna decided to conduct a dramatic change to the urban atmosphere of the city of Santiago. Among his many works aimed to improve the city, and thus initiated an extensive remodelation of the hill. The works of 1872 consisted of the road which crossed the hill, which at the top accessed a chapel which he also built there, illuminated by the then novel means of gas. The rest of the hill contains a park with fountains and lookouts. The actual hill is watered by a sophisticated irrigation system. The now iconic yellow and white facade is also a product of Vicuña Mackenna's remodelation. Vicuña Mackenna was assisted in realizing his designs by the architect Manuel Albanit, the constructor Enrique Haynes, and the stonecutter Andres Steinbuck. A few years ago, Santa Lucia Hill received an improvement in its illumination system and protections. Also, Fort Hidalgo was restored and reopened to the public. Traditionally, a cannon shot is fired exactly at noon. Like us and join us at Extreme Collections for more fun and knowledge.